Hi, this is SJ Talks in Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, please, and thank you. I don't know if you guys have heard the cause of Kevin Samuel's death was hypertension. He had hypertension, high blood pressure, and we all know that high blood pressure is I think it's one of the leading killers of black people, not just black men, but black women too. I think um, heart disease, I think prostate is number two on the list. Prostate cancer for it's that hypertension and prostate cancer. I think is the two leading uh, causes of death amongst health, as far as health for black men. So it's a major issue with black men. Um, I know. I think they suspected that they were suspecting foul play, so I guess they felt like they needed to do an autopsy. I'm glad that his family has some closure as to what happened, what really happened to him. Um, but this is what I don't understand. Now they still can't seem to get his age right. They keep saying he was 53, then they're saying he's 54, then they're saying he's 56 or 57. TMZ said he was 57 when I seen it on TMZ on my phone. It came across my phone on the TMZ on Facebook. And Facebook they said he was 57. So they still can't seem to get his age right. So um, unless you are able to look at the official um, death certificate, I guess you'll find out what his age was then. Um, sometimes you can look those up on Google Images. I don't know if they will have his on Google Images. There are other people that have their not death. I think death certificates and autopsy reports. You can look up on Google Images of famous people, and yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna have his on Google Images or not. I don't know. But yeah, at any rate, he was in his 50s, still relatively young man. It's really unfortunate that, he had to die, from heart disease. It's something that probably could have been prevented. It can be managed if you do what the doctor tells you to do. With anything like hypertension or if you have high blood pressure or diabetes or anything like that, um, know that it can be managed with the proper diet and exercise. And this it might have to eliminate certain things out of your diet or cut back drastically. With hypertension, and diabetes, you need to exercise. You need to exercise, and you need to watch what you eat. Cut back on the salt. And even us all of us at a particular age, when we get to be a particular age, we need to watch our salt intake. I've never used a lot of salt in my food anyway, but we have to watch our salt intake and sugar intake. And those are the two things that just about everything has either sugar, salt, or both in it, you know. So it's like a matter of going, you go to the store reading labels and, checking sodium levels on certain things and sugar. We have to watch for the sugar and salt, when we get to be a particular age. So exercise and proper diet is very important of everybody when we get to be of a particular age. But this is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. I don't understand why a man that claimed to be so intelligent, he claimed to be so intelligent, I didn't watch a lot of his content, but what little bit I did watch, he was, um, very adamant on asking women their dress size, and if they were presumed to be overweight, he would proceed to tell them that, well, with the proper diet, give them, health tips. I've literally heard him giving women health tips. Well, maybe get the proper diet, fruits and vegetables, and exercise. I have in fact heard him tell women that, and telling them they need to get their weight down. So he was giving other people advice, mainly women, advice on, giving women health tips and advice on losing weight and things like that. But what I don't understand is a man that claimed to be so intelligent and knowledgeable. Um, so, he appeared to be, didn't practice what he preached. He didn't seem to practice what he preached. Telling other people they needed to take care of themselves, but he wasn't taking the proper care of himself. And I understand that he drank a lot of Red Bull, and they said Red Bull. Sure enough, when I see clips of his show, he got a can of Red Bull sitting there. It's one of those things that kind of went over my head, like with a little bit of content I watched when he was alive. It kind of went over my head. Yeah, he had a can. I think people that after a certain age shouldn't be messing with that stuff. I can't do caffeine. Me myself, I can't do caffeine because caffeine makes my heart palpitate, even in small amounts. If I drink a cup of coffee with caffeine in it, it will cause me to have minor heart palpitations. So I have eliminated caffeine completely out of my diet. I mean, I don't drink. I drink decaffeinated coffee. I drink decaffeinated tea. I don't drink. I rarely drink pop, but when I do drink it, it's decaffeinated. It's caffeine free. Um, so I don't do anything with. I don't mess with nothing with caffeine. And then they say those Red Bulls, they need to take them off the market. Those Red Bulls, even young people should not be drinking those. Those Red Bulls have a high percentage of caffeine in them, and if you drink too many of them, they can mess up your heart. And that has been known to happen in young people. So just imagine if you are of a particular age and you're drinking Red Bulls on a consistent basis. Just imagine what it's doing to your heart. If young people have heart issues from drinking them, just imagine what it would do to a older person over the age of 50. So he was drinking a lot of those Red Bulls. I mean, when you watch clips of his show, he always had a can of Red Bull sitting there. So that probably caused more issues with his heart. Um, and I heard, I don't know, allegedly he was taking Viagra. I know that men have to be healthy to be able to take those. They won't let men even get on them if they're not they're not healthy. So I mean that's allegedly. So I don't know about all that, but I just know that I definitely seen him drinking a lot of Red Bull, and he should not. If he had hypertension, he should not even have been messing with that stuff. Period. And that's why I don't understand a man that claims to be so smart and intelligent, um, didn't was telling giving other people women health tips, but wasn't practicing what he was preaching. You know, and it just goes to show you that I mean he wasn't overweight, but just because you skinny don't mean you healthy. You know, that's the biggest misconception. People think some people automatically assume because someone's skinny that they're healthy. Just because you skinny don't mean you healthy. And a person can be slightly overweight and still be healthy. You can be overweight and still be healthy. So that's a big misconception too. So, he would constantly call women Big Shirley and all this stuff and making fun of women, that was a certain weight, um, and stuff like that. Um, he would probably would have called me Big Shirley. But guess what? Big Shirley takes her butt to the doctor. Big Shirley tries to exercise. Big Shirley tries to eat right. Big Shirley drinks plenty of water and don't mess with no caffeine or no alcohol, or if I do, small amounts. Miss Big Shirley watches her salts and sugars. So, you know, You know what I mean? If you're going, like, when I give health tips on my channel, I'm probably 9 times out of 10 I'm doing the same thing. I talk about antioxidants and vitamins and things like that on different videos. 9 times out of 10, oh, I'm doing the same thing. I showed you guys my drinks and the stuff that I be talking about when I showed you, for a fact. So I'm not just telling you. If I'm telling you, I'm doing it. I'm probably drinking it or doing it myself or trying to. So, if you're gonna give people health tips and advice and everything, you gotta practice what you preach. And it's unfortunate. It's really sad that he had to go at such a young age, but he should have been taking better care of himself. And he didn't have. He should have been focusing on securing a marriage mate because it's a known fact that married men live longer. Married women don't live longer. Single women actually live longer, but I'll discuss that in another video. Single women live longer, but married men, did you know that married men live longer? Had he had it, because the wife is seeing to it that he gets to the doctor, making sure that the wife is 9 times out of 10 is going to be on his head about taking his meds or whatever, going to the doctor, doing what he's supposed to do. And that's what a good wife does. So had he had a secure marriage mate, his wife would have been making sure that he was getting to the doctor and checking blood pressures and making sure yeah. So the wife would have been on the job 9 times out of 10. A caring, loving wife would have been. So he should have been trying to focus on securing a marriage mate. You know, but I digress on that. I'm not gonna really go into all that, but yeah, that's what I don't understand. He's so busy worrying about black women and this and black women that, he wasn't focusing on his own health. And black men are under a lot of stress. Just being a black man is stressful. So you gotta, as being black people, black men and women, is very stressful. So we gotta really take extra care. We gotta really, really be on top of it as far as our health and what we're putting in our body and trying to exercise and all that. And take care of ourselves the best way we can. So I just checked my blood pressure last week when I went to the store. When I that day, if you haven't caught my grocery haul, my Mega Meyer grocery haul, if you haven't caught it, go over there and check it out. The day I did that Meyer Mega grocery haul, but I'm gonna invest in a blood pressure cuff. But I set my butt, those little blood pressure machines. I set my butt, went to the pharmacy and set my butt right in that blood pressure machine and took my blood pressure. I sure did. Top number was 124. The bottom number was 80 something. Number was, I was a little concerned about the bottom number. The bottom number was a little high. But yeah, they said it was high because anything over 120, the top number, anything over 120 they consider high. Back in the day, it used to be anything over 140. You know, the bottom, but I heard that the bottom number was more important than the top number. Let me know in the comment section if you know that for sure. But yeah, the top number to me in my mind wasn't that high. Was good. That bottom number was a little concerned about, but a lot of factors to consider. I was walking around the store hurting, um, shopping. So I mean, so that could have altered the numbers. So a lot of things can, if you stress about anything or if you, moving around a lot or whatever like that, that can or if you're in any kind of pain, that can affect your numbers. So I was hurting because them floors of murder on my legs and back. So that could have affected my number. So just make sure that everybody listening to this video, making sure that you're getting your blood pressure checked, going to the doctor, getting your checkups, you know, check your A1C, that's important too, your blood sugar levels, making sure you're checking all those things. And sometimes, when you go to the doctor, especially as black people, we got to tell the doctors what to do because sometimes they don't automatically do stuff. And so just pay attention to what's going on with your body And we have to be our own advocate. When we go to the doctor, we have to be our own advocate. I have to pretty much go in and tell them. I the one that told them to run the x-ray on my back. I'm the one that told them to run the x-ray because I have a bone spur in my elbow. I the one told them to run the x-rays on my arm. I the one told them to run the x-ray on my back. Okay, I'm the one that told them to do that. So whenever I need something, and I feel that I need a certain test run on my body, I will let them know. You need to run a test, this and that and the other, And so I pretty much have to tell doctors what to do. Okay, so because I know my body, I know what's going on with my body, and that's what you have to be. Is particularly as an African American, you have to be your own advocate, and you have to pretty much tell these doctors what to do, because some things they just won't do, you know. So just staying on top of that, your doctor's appointments, you know, checking your blood, especially if you're of a particular age. If you're over the age of 40, making sure you're getting your checking your blood pressure. They have blood pressures at machines at pharmacists, stores, you know. And I'm gonna invest in the blood pressure cuff myself, and making sure you just staying on top of everything and pay close attention to what's going on with your body. Sometimes people have symptoms and stuff, and then they be ignoring stuff, and it can cause bigger problems. So don't ignore nothing. Because I had back in the fall of 2020, I had well, I'm not gonna really go into what I had, but I had a serious issue. I'll just put it that way, that needed immediate medical attention. And it was a situation to had I ignored it, I could have died. I don't really feel comfortable in saying what it was, but it was a situation to where if I didn't address it, I could have died. So I listen to my body and I pay attention to what's going on with my body. I don't play around with it. If I'm getting any kind of symptoms or whatever, I make sure I hightail it to the doctor, you know. And I was able to get the situation under control. It was a little while. Time went by. Um, I was able to get the situation under control, but that's because I carried my butt to the doctor and I didn't ignore the situation. If I had have ignored it, I would not be talking to you right now. Yeah. So, and it wasn't COVID. It wasn't COVID. It wasn't COVID. That was before I caught COVID. Um, this was the fall of winter of 20 late fall, early winter of 2020, early part of 2021. So I didn't even have it. Wasn't COVID. It was something else. But I don't feel comfortable with discussing what it is, what it was. But just know that it was life. It could have been life threatening had I not addressed it. So anytime you're having any kind of symptoms or anything that's going on with your body, please make sure you get it addressed. Don't ignore symptoms, because it's going to escalate. It's going to get worse. And then, you could lose your life, or whatever. Go to the doctor. Nobody likes to go to the doctor. I don't like going to the doctor. But if there's something going on with your body, go get it addressed. Don't ignore symptoms. Okay. All right. So let me know in the comment section if you heard that about Kevin Samuels. May he continue to rest in peace. Condolences to his family. Glad they found out what was the cause of death, and they have closure. And hit the thumbs up button. And until the next video, be blessed.